Let's talk about let's talk among ourselves. We're not talking politics. We're talking church. Let's talk about love and association. Okay, let's share some wisdom on the matter. Now, it is not true that we hate people we avoid, as much as it's not true that we associate with people we love. You know, a criminal's favorite person is a potential victim. Criminals have to be in contact with the people they rob. So basically, criminals enjoy the company of people they prey upon. So it's not everybody who enjoys our company, who likes hanging around us, who serves our interest. If you dissociate, the more distance you put between a potential robber and a potential victim, the unhappier the robber is. Did you get what I said to you? It's not everybody who loves your association has come to build. There are people who love your association because it gives them that proximity to you, gives them opportunity to steal, to kill, and to destroy. So the truth of the matter is, avoiding people is not hate, it's wisdom. You need to know there are certain places, if you drive along, you'll get a board there. Accident, high or red zone, or back snatching. The cops keep putting notices and of certain places to avoid. So you don't avoid the places because you hate that part of town, but because wisdom tells you it's unsafe for you to be there. So you need to possess the correct wisdom to know when it is safe to venture into certain people's space or not. I'm going to show you from the scriptures. Now, we're not talking politics, we're talking Bible. And look at how God, at the correct time, when the time of the Christ to manifest had come, look at how God instructed the wise men who thought Christ was born in Herod's palace, and how when after they have given Christ the gifts and they have said their blessing over him, how that night the angel of the Lord said to the wise men, don't go back to Herod, don't take a different route. Hey, God. Okay? And so if you went to the wise men and asked them, wow, aren't you going to visit Herod? The answer was not, we hate him. No, the answer is no, God said we shouldn't. There are certain people, it would never be in your interest to hang around for certain seasons, not because you hate them, but because of a lot of other dynamics. What about Christ? He says salvation is of the Jews, and he was born in the right. He was born among the right people. But one day the angel of the Lord comes to Joseph and says, no, take the child to Egypt. So for a while, the child is removed from his people for his protection. Joseph, the son of Jacob, Moses. The Bible is full of a lot of examples that show us that we should not feel guilty for avoiding certain people. Love is love, whether the person is near or far. And hate is hate, because whether the person is near or far. We don't necessarily love people we associate with. We don't necessarily hate people we avoid. But there are times, certain people, as soon as they step into your zone, it would never matter how much you have. There are certain people, it would never matter how much money you have, how much support you have, how happy your marriage is, how thriving your business is. There are certain people, as soon as they step into your zone, everything goes haywire. And those people are not necessarily sent by the devil. Those people, they're not necessarily of the devil. It is in your interest that you avoid them. Some of those people who bring storm into our lives are anointed like Jonah. If you read the book of Jonah, here is a man anointed by God, a man sent by God who's misdirected. He steps into a ship owned by heathens, people who pray to different gods. And that day, it were not the heathens who brought chaos to the ship. It was a man of God. There are a lot of these men of God. Every time they come, they draw nigh to you. Your family loses things. They lose people. They lose money. This is a man of God. Hear him preach. Ooh, he preaches thunder. Hear him prophesy there. He moves with God. But every time he draws nigh to you, you are bound to lose something. There are particular people I've had to sit down and write their names and realize, but every time so and so ventures into my zone, I lose a lot. But every time he and I don't see each other for a long time, geez, the recovery, the breakthroughs, the prosperity, the effectiveness, the impact. But every single time this man of God steps into my zone, I know I'm about to lose something. Every time they make a call out of the blue, I know, I want everybody, hold on to your stuff there. It's a fact. Listen to me, child of God. The Bible says the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. The thief has no face. The thief is a spirit. And the thief uses people around us. And that is why we need to commit our associations very closely to God. There is that friend you love that you can't hang around. Because every time that friend comes into your zone, your marriage is in turmoil. Every time that friend like Jonah, you throw him out of a marriage, you are in love again. There are those believers. They stay from church for a long time and there is peace. Every time they come and they come with a testimony, they prophesy, there is chaos. There are those relatives. Every time you don't see them for a long time, there is calmness, there is focus, there is fruit in your life. You have stuff. The ministry is expanding. The work is growing. You do stuff. You write books or you write films, whatever you're busy with. You open new businesses, new ministry branches because there's distance between them. And you love them. You love them. You don't hate them. You love them. But every time you sit with them for a cup of tea, it seems like Satan is their constant companion. So you need to realize who to associate with and who to avoid. It's in the Bible. David one day comes to a realization that his love for Saul is not going to change Saul's attitude towards him. There are a lot of people I love, but I know that my love will never change them. Listen to me, God loves everybody, including the people in hell today. So it's not love alone that changes people. There are things that have to happen in people's heads and minds for them to process your love. Those people could be your father, could be your mother, could be your brother, could be your sister. But every time they venture into your zone, every time you associate again, years of hard work, years of praying, of planning are blown away in a matter of weeks. People who believed in you stop believing in you. Money flees from you. The stuff you accumulated gets repossessed. You lose stuff. You end up in chaos. You need to realize, like David said, that look, Saul is going to kill me. I love Saul. I've had a lot of opportunity to destroy him and I refuse to destroy him solely because I love him. But my love for Saul is not going to change Saul. Because Saul is going to have to love me too. Hey. We are so naive to think everybody we love loves us. And we're so naive to think that our love is enough to carry our relations with people. It's not enough. People have to love you back. People in associations, in your circles have to love you back. And that's why I'm saying to you, don't feel guilty. For God to bring his will to pass in the life of Joseph, Joseph had to stay away from his father and brothers. 13 full years. 13 full years. He never saw the father he loved. He never saw the brothers he loved. Because every time he was in the zone, his vision was under attack. His dreams were under attack. His anointing was strained. What about Moses? 40 years. There are certain people you have just to step out. You need a lot of sense. And lastly, there are certain preachers. There are certain prophets, apostles. You need to throw out of your sheep. There's nothing wrong with the ocean. There's nothing wrong with the goods we have around you. But that day on that ship bound for Tarshish, there was a man of God in that ship. When they hit the storm, they thought there was something wrong with the ocean. There was nothing wrong with the ocean. When they hit the storm, they thought the ship was too heavy. They started throwing goods aboard. There was nothing wrong. But as soon as they threw the man of God aboard, they realized that the sea became calm, and there was no need for them to have gone and thrown stuff. You are going to lose stuff hanging around Rome, men of God. You are going to lose your marriage. You are going to lose your children. You are going to stand over the graves of your children. You are going to stand over bankruptcy, graves of bankruptcy. Your ministry down the drain because somebody you love does not love you. Somebody you love is not necessarily evil. He's good to other people, but bad to you. I pray that this makes sense. Ne? Enjoy your day. Later in the day or tomorrow, I still owe you that talk on religion. But for now, I just wanted you to think about this. May the Lord really bless you.